Hello everyone, in this video we'll see how to create this really cool brick toys effects that you can see in here using Adobe Photoshop. But before we're gonna do that, make sure to subscribe and comment and leave a like. Alright, so let's get to it. Alright, so let's go and open Photoshop, and I will go to File, New, and I'm gonna put, let's see, maybe 4000 on the width, and I'm gonna change the height to 3000 and 300 in the resolution because we want it to be in a good quality, and I will press OK. Alright, now again I want actually to make this as a smart object so I can go back and forth if I don't like something. So I will create a new layer, and then I will rename this layer to image. Yeah, and then I will right click and convert this to smart object. And let's delete this background. Now the idea of smart objects, I'm sure everybody knows that, but in case someone who doesn't know, you can actually place an image, a text or a shape wherever you want inside this layer. In here you can do that because now it's a smart object. For us to do that, we can just either double click on this layer in here, or you can right click right here and choose edit content, and this will open in a new tab, as you can see in here. And here where you can actually put whatever you want. For me, I'm gonna put an image, so I will go and locate the image I will be using. We'll just drag it like that, and I will make it bigger to fit. And then you can now just press Ctrl S to save this, or you can go to File, Save, or you can just close it in here and make sure to press Yes to save the changes. Now this will take us back to the other layer that we created, and there we go, we have an image in here set as a smart object. Alright, now for this effect to work, I actually made a pattern that will go with this, but I'm not gonna show how to do that. It's very easy. Let me actually open it again. As you can see, I create like 4 patterns that looks like a brick toys or toy bricks, I don't know, that looks like that in a graphic way. I made this one too, and I made other ones, but this one I want to go with 4, or you can just create one and make it duplicate itself. But for this, I actually created like that for me, for us to have these shadows in here. As you can see, when it's one next to each other, it will create these shadows in here. As you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, the 4th one. All right, so I will make sure to upload this pattern, but if you want a whole set, you will find the whole set in the Patreon link. All right, so I would go back to my main file, and then I want to apply one adjustment before, which is the shadows and highlights. So I will go to adjustment and choose shadows/highlight, and you can keep this as a default, but I think I will go down a little bit to like 20%, and I will press OK. All right. Now we need to make this look like bricks, and the closest things to that is the mosaic effect. So I will go to filter, and then I will go for pixelate, and I will choose mosaic. All right, now this is up to you. You can go very high if you want, but you know, the more high you go with the cell, the more the picture looks a little bit, you know, like pixelated. And I don't want that, so I'm gonna stick with like 30 square for the cell size, and I will press OK. Alright, next I want to emphasize the shadows of the squares, and to do that we will go to filter, and then we'll choose filter gallery, and in here in the texture folder, open it and choose this craquelure in here. And let me actually delete this grain for now. And as you can see, when I do that, you will see how it gets emphasized the squares of the mosaic. Basically, it looks really cool, as you can see in here. Now you can copy the same cracks spacing that I have. I put 90, 0 crack depth, And for the brightness, you can go as much as you want. For me, I think 5, because I don't want it to be that heavy. And the other thing that you can do is to apply a grain. But if you want to do that, you can just create another filter basically by one click on this plus icon, and you can add grain. For me, I won't do that. I will keep it like this, simple, and I will press OK. Alright, so as you can see, our effect is already start to take shape. So now the only thing that we have to do is to apply the pattern that I showed you earlier. So to do that, I will go to this adjustment icon, and then I will choose pattern. And I will open the pattern that I have. As you can see, I have some of them already here. So let's go with something. Yeah, let's go with this one that they have 4. So let's see how they look like. Alright, yeah, let's stick with the 4 pattern in here. And for the pattern, actually you need to put like 30 or 20 for the scanning. And I'm gonna press OK. Now, the main idea of this is actually I need to have the pattern set inside the boxes that we have from the mosaic. And to do that, I will drop down the opacity a little bit. And for me, I already know the calculation of this because I already did it before. So as you can see now, I drop down the opacity. You will see each pattern actually go directly to the box. So that's why I create 4000 pixels by 3000. So all of them will go in the same box that we have in here. Alright, now we'll put the pattern back to 100, and then I'm gonna change the blending mode of this to overlay. Then I'm gonna put down the opacity or the fill to like 85, because I think it's a little bit strong. And there we go, we already start to have a really nice effect. But I don't like that in the black areas. You can see we don't see any bricks. And there is a way to fix that. So let me actually put down the opacity even more, maybe 80. Alright, now to fix that, I'm just gonna create another copy, or I'm gonna duplicate this pattern by pressing Ctrl Command J. And then I'm gonna change the blending mode of this to screen. And I will drop down the fill to 0%, and I will zoom in. And it's pretty easy. I will just go up a little bit. And there we go. You can see now in the black area, you can see the brick toys or the toy bricks in here. Maybe around 14%. Yeah, I think it looks much better. And the other thing that you can do is actually while you select in the screen pattern, let's actually name this screen. By selecting the pattern, you can go to this FX icon and choose blending options. And then here you can play with blend if. For example, we don't want this to be shown in the other places beside the black. So I'm just gonna split the white open like this slider. And there we go, it will make it fade better with the other placements of the pattern. Alright, I think it looks really cool. Maybe I will drop down the opacity quite a bit, maybe 70% for this. And now we can still see the texture of the bricks or the pattern in here. And that's exactly what I want. Alright, so we're almost done. Now the only thing that I want to add is a little bit of texture. And also I want to apply like a color that will desaturate it even more. So let's start with the texture. So I'm going to create a new layer and let's call this texture. And then I will go to edit. And I will choose fill. And in the contents in here, I will make sure that I'm choosing 50% gray, and I will press OK. Now I will go to filter, and I will choose filter galleries. And I will stay in the texture folder, and I will go this time for this texturizer. So I will actually keep it very low. The scaling of the canvas, I will keep it 50. Make sure in here to choose canvas or bricks, whatever you want. For me, I like the texture to be a little bit thin, so I will go for canvas. So I would keep it 50%, and the relief, maybe I will put it down to like 4. And in here you can keep it top or right or whatever you want. For me, I will keep it top, and I'm gonna press OK. Alright, now I'm gonna change the blending mode of this to soft light. Now if I zoom in, you can see a very nice texture that will be applied in here. Maybe you can put down the pill a little bit. And there we go. So the last thing that I want to add is a solid color. So I will go to adjustments again and choose solid color. And then I'm gonna choose like maybe a cyan, and I will press OK. Next, I will change the blending mode of this to exclusion or saturation. So let's actually go with exclusion this time, and I will put down the fill to 0, and I will start going up to like 16%. And now you can see it will give it a really nice fade to the whole image. And I think it looks really cool. Now you can go as much as you want with adjustments and, you know, effects. If you want, maybe add a vignette or whatever, or maybe add some grain. But for this tutorial, I think I will keep it like that, and that will be our effect. So I hope that you enjoy and you like this video and it was a little bit helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe and comment, and wait for more to come. And have a nice day. Thank you for watching.